Hello, this is James. We are going to talk about Mars. The importance of Mars is growing as Earth's population increases and our living space shrinks. Also, we don't know when Earth's natural resources might be depleted. Furthermore, Mars is the only planet where we suspect water exists.
Yes, I heard about the news. We know that water on Mars's surface evaporated a long time ago, but there is still a little hope that water exists beneath the surface. If this is found to be true, we could have a neighboring planet where we can live in the future.
Like Earth, Mars formed about 4.56 billion years ago. It was initially an ocean planet with its surface entirely covered in water, and it went through a period where a semi-molten magma ocean existed beneath the ocean floor. Therefore, shortly after its crust formed, a significant amount of water vapor was released into the atmosphere. During this time, just like Earth, Mars collided with another protoplanet.
Since Mars lost most of its atmosphere over billions of years, the planet lacks protection against meteorites and other space debris. As a result, Mars's geographical features are much more extreme than Earth's. For example, the tallest mountain on Mars is Olympus Mons, which is 2.5 to 3 times taller than Mount Everest.
So the height of the mountain is around 21 to 26 kilometers. That is incredible. Since Mars is the closest planet with the most temperate climate in our solar system, it has inspired the creation of many sci-fi movies and novels. Sarah, have you ever watched the movie called The Martian?
Do you mean the movie where the main character had to eat potatoes to survive?
Yes, that is the one I am talking about. The main character, played by Matt Damon, had to find a crop that he could grow on Mars. Since potatoes can grow in harsh conditions, the main character chose potatoes as his staple food to survive on Mars. Do you think we can cultivate crops on Mars?
I think it will be impossible unless we grow crops indoors because of the lack of water and oxygen on Mars. Of course, there is some oxygen and water on Mars, but that doesn't mean the amount of those resources is enough. They are not enough to sustain any form of living organism, so we will probably have to build indoor structures to live on Mars. However, I guess there are many rare and precious natural resources we can extract on Mars, so we can't overlook its importance for our future generations.
Would you ever live on Mars if basic needs, such as housing and food, were provided for free?
No, I don't think so. There are no plants on Mars. I like walking in greenery, but it would be really boring to walk in the middle of a desert since the scenery in that kind of environment is always the same. I need green spaces to stay mentally healthy.
I would live on Mars if a government provided me with free housing and food, under the condition that I stay on Mars for the rest of my life. A few days ago, I was thinking about how powerful money is, because I would rather live in a rich country without freedom than in a poor country with freedom.
What kind of business or work will there be if you live on Mars? I might get a job related to farming, because growing crops will be extremely difficult due to Mars' harsh environment. At first, humans will probably need to ship food from Earth to sustain the population on Mars. So Mars will be similar to an island. Do you know what the most expensive thing on an island is? Food?
Yes, that is a good idea. I think our generation doesn't need to move to Mars right now. But our future descendants will need to figure out how to live on Mars because of Earth's limitations, such as limited space and resources. How about you guys? Would you ever live on Mars? Can you live in a new country or planet? Under what conditions would you live in a new country or place?